Guten Tag, Frau Beckmann.
Ah, Fräulein Rose, there you are. You're perfectly on time.
Thank you, Frau Beckmann.
Suffice to say, I expected nothing less. May I have your convocation notice? Thank you, Fräulein Rose. Now, remember, performing at the annual spring concert is a great honor and rewards the best Music Academy student of the year. So it is imperative that you show yourself worthy.
I will do my best, Frau Beckmann.
The piano is ready. Make this day yours, Dana Rose.
Well done, Dana, dear. I'm so proud of your concert on the square at the Academy of Music. we shall find a pretty frame for your diploma.
Thank you, Mother.
Once you've finished your studies at the Academy of Music next year, you'll be able to start higher education at the Paris Conservatory. Won't she, Anton?
Of course. Of course.
Then, my darling, you'll become a great concert pianist. You make us so proud, doesn't she, Anton?
Of course. Of course.
So proud.
I can't wait to see the Paris Conservatory, even though I'll miss you both terribly.
And it's perhaps not such a bad idea for you to move away from Wagen. Times are hard at the moment for people like us. I do worry about your health still. Thankfully, Herr Gustav agreed to take you on at the mountain refuge this summer.
Oh, yes. The mountain air will do you a world of good, my dear.
By the way, did you write to Herr Gustav to thank him?
Oh, well, I was very busy rehearsing the concert, you know.
The gentleman is offering you a job, Dana. Thanking him is the very least you can do.
Yes, Mother, I'll do it right away. Dear Herr Gustav, I would like to thank you
Piss
for...
off out of here, you filthy Bulgarian!
Don't, Dana, it's too dangerous.
Oh my! What in the name of... Dana, darling, no, give it to me, please. Oh my goodness.
What does it say, Father?
It's nothing, Dana. Nothing but spite.
Will they ever leave us in peace?
Come on, Lena, my dear. Hey, come on. Look at me. Don't let it get you down. Huh? Or we'll both end up in Paris with Dana.
Ah, she was as cute as a button and well-mannered with it. Even father was sweet as a lamb to her.
Take care of the scientist drinks, then go round taking orders. And have a look at the stove while you're at it.
Yes, Herr Gustav.
Will you be alright now, Dana? It's the first busy night since you started, so just ask if there's anything you need to know. Alright, my lovely?
Thank you, Herr Gustav. I'd be grateful if you could give me a few pointers.
Oh, there's not much to it, really. Keep up your smile and the twinkle in your eye. Add that to a bit of friendly banter, and you'll soon have them eating out of your hand, my girl.
But what should I talk about?
For a start, people love to speak about themselves, right? But make sure you have an escape line ready, in case they drag on, or if things become, inappropriate. Especially when they've had one or two too many. So stay on your guard and you'll be fine.
Smile, banter, guard up. Got it.
That's it. Because you don't want old Gustav having to wade in and pull you out of trouble. You hear me, Dana?
Don't worry, Herr Gustav. I'll be fine.
Off you trot then, my lovely. Keep smiling, and you'll have them carrying your tray for you.
No, we'll have to go higher, I'm telling you. But my point is that it's highly improbable that any primate will be able to survive so high up, let alone thrive.
And if they were thriving, we wouldn't be looking for them, would we? I say they've taken to the higher ground, and they only come down to steal livestock and game.
Look out, chaps.
Gentlemen, your drinks?
Ah, good on you, lassie. Horst, make yourself useful and pass these around. First day, is it? Better make a wish then.
All right, I will. I wish you would tell me what all those maps are for.
Ah, that I can grant you. They show all the different locations of an expedition we're planning.
And what's that one of, if you don't mind me asking?
That is Baltayar, a remote region in the mountains of northern China. That's where I'll be leading my team in a couple of weeks.
And what's this expedition for?
Well, keep it to yourself, but the code name is Origin. And if I have my way, it will likely change the way we perceive humanity.
I see you haven't come just for the view then.
Oh no, Fraulein. We're only here for the beer and a pretty smile. That's our trainer out there. Supposed to knock this scraggly lot into shape for the big climb in Baltayar.
Right. And what about you, gentlemen?
Well, let me introduce you to my dream team. Horst Sauer, talented anthropologist and frequent but worthy pain in the ass your mother. Rudolf Jäger, distinguished ethnologist. And last but not least, Albert Bauer,
Paleontologist.
And yourself?
Reinhard Berger, biologist.
As Herr Berger says, we're here to train for the Origin expedition.
In return for funding for our own projects back home.
And for the love of science, eh, Horst?
Oh, yes, of course, Herr Berger. I'm sure none of us would be here otherwise, would we?
And what about you, my lovely?
Oh, I'm Dana. I'm working here during the holidays, that's all. I'm curious to know what this Origin expedition is all about, though. If it's not top secret, that is.
Put it this way, Fraulein Dana. If, when, we discover what we're looking for, you will no doubt remember this conversation as your claim to fame. You will tell your grandchildren that you served the Origin team, the team that discovered none other than the missing link of the superior race of humans, the Australopithecus habilis, the direct ancestor of Homo sapiens. Or, more vulgarly put, the abominable snowman.
Oh, I see. Now I get why it's called Origin.
Whatever we find, whatever we call it, it's likely to send shockwaves all through the world of anthropology. It will help us to explain how we evolved from Australopithecus to modern man, and then became...
He's off again. Get him started on anthropology and he's like a bolted horse. I don't think Fraulein Dana wants you to clobber her with your explanations, Horst.
I might only be a waitress, but actually I find it quite interesting.
Well, Fräulein, the Origin expedition could lead us to a totally new series of studies, or even reveal a new mode of tribal organization, or a micro-society, by the discovery of a specimen that may well have played a major role in the evolution of modern man.
Come, gentlemen, here's to the Brown Shadow for generously sponsoring this expedition, which is sure to redefine our understanding of mankind.
Oh, I see we're fraternizing with the personnel, gentlemen.
Just giving a toast to our generous sponsor, Herr Herz.
May I remind you that this mission, financed by my party, is confidential? Do you know what that means, Dr. Berger?
Yes, Herr Herz.
It means, gentlemen, it is strictly forbidden to communicate any details or objectives to anyone outside our circle, let alone to the first waitress to come by twinkling her eyelashes. Fraulein, as soon as you're done here, I suggest you get back to your chores.
What a brute.
That is one of the inconveniences of working with a heavily politicized private sponsor. But he's just doing his job. And I suppose, like anything else in life, there has to be some compromise to get what one desires. So, think nothing of it, Fraulein. It is the way of science. Indeed, it is the way of the world.
The way of the world, Herr Berger? I'm sorry, but in case you do not know, let me tell you what members of the Brown Shadow do to Vagarans like me. They smash windows. They assault innocent people for no reason at all. They are fascists and criminals, Herr Berger. With all due respect, don't you feel ashamed to be associated with such tyrants?
I would be careful when expressing such extreme accusations, Fraulein. There are always overzealous members of any party, always have been. And even so, we are not politicians. We do not claim to save humanity. Our job is to explain how it came about. Why, if the scientific community had to halt progress at every political crossroads, then humanity would never have advanced any further than Homo erectus.
Dana! Dana! Chop chop! This isn't a French parlor, my girl.
Yes, Herr Gustav. I'd better go. Thank you, gentlemen. Lenny, sweetheart?
Crikey, you nearly made me jump out of my skin.
What have you got there?
Oh, it's a camera lens, that's all.
A camera lens.
Yeah? Borrowed it from Frau Junta?
Who is this Frau Junta, anyway?
Ginger Junta, over there.
She married?
Oh no, too old to marry now. She's way past 20, you know. That's why she likes filming Leon, because he's young and handsome.
Lenny?
And she never lets me have a go of her gear anyway. I only wanted to help her film something. I bet she's jealous.
Lenny, what's so special about Frau Junta's equipment that makes you want to steal it?
Borrow it.
All right, borrow it.
Can't you see? Who would be interested in Ginger Junta if she didn't have a camera, huh? She's too old for Leon. She uses it so she can be the centre of attention, you know.
Is that what you want?
No, not exactly. Besides, there's nothing to do here.
I do understand, Lenny, but...
No, you don't. Feels like a prison here sometimes, all on my own. When I grow up, I'll live at the top of a building in the big city, and I'll have a swimming pool on my roof.
Believe me, I do understand, Lenny. Because of my coughing fits, I've sometimes had to stay in my room for weeks on end. Imagine that, nothing to see but the same four walls.
Oh, right. Must have been pretty tough, I guess.
That's why I took up the piano. Do you like doing anything special, Lenny?
I suppose I like making stuff with Papa. He's got ever such clever hands, you know. But he's always so busy in the summer.
Let's be friends then, shall we?
You won't tell on me then?
Not now that we're friends.
You promise?
I promise. Better not interrupt them. That Frau Junta wasn't exactly friendly earlier with Lenny.
All right.
Fine. No more orders and everyone's served.
That's the go. Now listen, Dana. I know, you know, the brown shadow is dangerous, right? So for heaven's sake, keep your feelings to yourself. And refrain from answering her burger back like you did, eh? The brown shadow is not something you can just chit-chat about.
But...
Look, it's not safe. And it will only come back and bite you. Mark my words, Dana. Especially in today's climate.
I only...
Dana, I know. Just be careful. No one wants problems with fascists. You get my drift? And may I remind you that I warned you earlier when you asked me for advice. So I'll tell you one last time. Don't get drawn in. Do you hear me, Dana? So, young lady, you're still off to the academy in the fall, are you not? What you waiting for, then? Get back to your practicing and play us a nice tune while you're at it.
All right then, I will. Thank you, Herr Gustav.
Play something melodious this time. It'll make a nice change from the military pieces some of the patrons have been requesting of late.
Leon, what are you doing? I want to catch the light.
Oh, gosh, I hope I haven't...
Bravo! Bravo! Bravo!
Bravo. Bravo.
Clap? How can you clap? Oh, so you like noise, do you? Do you? Well, you should be ashamed! Ashamed, I say! To applaud the music of a treacherous Polish separatist! Rebel-rousing! It's this kind of rebel-rousing that puts the poison of Marxist Bulgarian ideology in the minds of honest people! And those who partake in its vulgarization are accessory to treason!
You are drunk, Herr Hoss.
Out of my way, boy!
Come, Fräulein. Best clear off until the dust settles. You all right? Yeah, I thought so.
It's just that if I had retaliated, I would have lost my job, you know? Believe me, I came this close to not being able to pay for my studies at the academy after the holidays.
Forget it. He was blind drunk. Won't even remember it come tomorrow. Old Gustav could see it wasn't your fault. Besides, you didn't see him after your performance. Ecstatic he was.
There are more and more people like that brute. They don't even bother to hide their hatred anymore. It's like they've been given a mission, or perhaps I should say permission, to abuse people like me, as if Vagarans had suddenly become the scourge of society. And we're powerless to act because if we did, we'd lose our home. My parents, they've become a bundle of nerves. They can't sleep at night. Only last week, our shop window got smashed again, and our neighbors, they couldn't care less. And neither could the authorities. I'm sorry. I've upset you, haven't I?
You've put my own suspicions into words, Fraulein. Because what you say about the Brown Shadow is true, and that's what worries me. I used to think they were just a bunch of cranks in their ridiculous uniforms. But now I can see these lunatics really are serious. Deadly serious.
But you did know who was behind the Origin expedition.
Never gave it much thought, to be honest. Only met Huss and the scientists today. For me, they were no different from any other group I've trained. If I'd have known that, I'd have had second thoughts. Actually, do you know what?
What?
I'm going to stop training them.
Can you do that?
It's still a free country, right? So after a few weeks' notice, I'll be off the hook. At least, I get to spend the summer here with you. Painting.
But I don't paint.
No, you play. I paint. It's my passion. And you can be my muse.
Is that what you say to all the girls?
No. Never.
Hello, you two lovebirds. Everyone's going to bed, so you better come back inside or you'll catch cold, or worse.
Summer 1937. The year Dana worked here. Let's see. I filled my last diary last night. Ordered another one, but still waiting for supplies to be delivered to the refuge. Using an old envelope in the meantime. today invited Dana for a chat after her shift.
I'd like to know what Leon sees in her. I've never seen him so smitten. Thanks for popping up, Dana. How did the shift go?
Fine, same as usual.
Just finishing up here, then I'll make us a nice cup of tea.
Wow, that looks futuristic. What is it?
Ah, that little baby is my viewer. That's why it goes in the coffer.
What does it do?
I use it to put together and edit the rushes.
The what?
Rushes. In other words, the strips of unedited footage. I've finished today's selection, so be a dear and put it in the coffer, would you?
I would if I knew how.
Oh, just turn the key in the lock.
I love your photos.
Ah, well, they each represent an element of mountain wildlife and flora I've photographed recently. I use them as a sort of checklist. Dana, be a darling and put the key somewhere safe. You can't be too careful with these mountain people, especially with that little Lenny sniffing around my equipment all the time.
I think you ought to know. On the night we first met, when that horrible Huss made such a fuss, I caught Lenny playing with one of your camera lenses.
I knew it! I just knew she was rummaging in my things. I'll make that little brat sorry we ever met. Believe me.
Where do you normally put it?
I have a little hiding place over there. Just need to finish preparing for the filming tomorrow, then we can chat away to our heart's content. If you could just fetch me a new roll of film from the darkroom, then we're done.
How could you agree to this, Leon? How could you?
I told you I had no choice. The local guide for Baltayar can't do it anymore. He got injured.
Why don't you just refuse then? It's their stupid expedition, not yours.
Look, Dana, I didn't want to tell you, but...
But what?
Frank Huss, that brute from the other night. He's the one that made the call here. In other words, he's taking revenge by sending me to the other side of the world with the Origin expedition. And he said that if I refused, something might happen. Not just to me, but to you as well.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean. You're a Vigaran and so are your parents, right? Well, Huss says it won't be long before the Brown Shadow is in power, and he made it clear that something was brewing, and that you and your parents would be first on the list.
What list?
I don't know, but it can't be good. Then he said that other Vigarans would follow.
Dear God.
Dana, darling, the world's gone crazy. Promise me you'll be very careful. It will be all right if you just watch yourself and what you say. I've asked Junta to stand by you just in case. It won't be long, darling. Half a school year at the Music Academy. I'll be home for Christmas. Promise. Oh, come here now, my pretty Edelweiss.
Don't call me that, you know I don't like it.
It's true, though. That's exactly where you are, my pretty Edelweiss.
If you keep that up, Leon Kobatis, I'll find you a nickname too.
Go on then.
All right.
Like every year, I needed a volunteer from our students to help me during the inspection. And this year's choice was obvious.
I'm fine, really.
Well, you're looking off colour, darling, and on edge.
No, it's just that I haven't heard from Leon since he left with the Origin expedition from Kantar. And also,
Well, we've got company. You'll tell me later, Dana, darling. Meantime, be good and stay safe.
You too, Junta.
Is everything all right? You look under the weather. We don't want one of our best and brightest to fall ill now, do we?
I'm just a little worried, that's all. About a friend who has left on a long voyage.
And who was that lady?
Just a friend I met this summer.
You do keep some surprising company, Fraulein Rose. Anyway, I have something for you that will take your mind off things.
Oh?
Would it interest you to see the mechanisms that enabled you to perform so brilliantly here last spring?
That would be wonderful.
Good. Come and join me at the kiosk when you have a moment. But don't be too long, though. Come and see, Fraulein.
Incredible.
Isn't it just? You see these flags? Each mechanism housing for each musical automaton on the square is represented by one of these flags.
Fascinating.
Today is the day they are being serviced. Each mechanism has been inspected by an Academy maintenance man. In theory, they're all functional. But if you like, you can go and see these maintenance men on my behalf and fetch back their respective reports. You would be doing me a big favor, as I have to inspect the piano in the kiosk. And also, it will give you a chance to take a peek at each of the automaton mechanisms.
Thank you very much for choosing me for this task, Frau Beckmann, but why me?
Consider it a reward for being one of the best students of the Academy. And it looks to me like you need something to take your mind off your worries. Now, take this. You'll need it to open the maintenance room that leads to the most impressive mechanism of all, that of the clock tower.
Thank you, Frau Beckmann.
Do you have any questions before you go?
Do you know who built the mechanical orchestra? My father told me it didn't exist when he was young.
They were built by a strange young French inventor by the name of Wolrd some years ago. From what I heard, he was visiting Wagen while en route to the east, just after the huge fire that destroyed the town. He was moved by the legend of Vera Schönberg, that virtuoso who died in the fire, so he offered his talents to rebuild the city and create the mechanical orchestra.
When the mechanical orchestra played along with me last spring, it was incredible. But how does it manage to play at the same tempo as the piano? It was almost like in a dream.
Oh, it wasn't dream work, Fräulein, but clockwork. The piano is connected to the mechanism that you are going to inspect, and the hymn of Wagen played on the keys. That's what sets the rhythm and the intensity of the performance, and that's what triggers everything else.
What happened to Vera Schönberg? My mother always says it's the saddest story.
And she's right. You probably know that Vera Schönberg was Wagen's most famous musician at the beginning of the century. But her legend was truly born the night she performed a cello concerto, right here on the square. It was also the night of the worst fire in Wagen's modern history.
And Frau Schönberg, she died in the fire, right?
She did. As well as all the other musicians and the entire audience. They were surrounded by flames, trapped on this square.
How dreadful.
Dreadful indeed. But according to the legend, Vera Schönberg kept playing Wagen's hymn until the very end. She understood they were all doomed to die, and her music brought them peace of mind during their last moments. This automaton you played with last spring was created in her image as a final tribute.
I had no idea.
Well, now you know all about the legend of Vera Schönberg. Was there something else, Fräulein Roze?
I'll go and see the maintenance team.
Good. Thank you, Fräulein.
I can hardly believe I held my concert here just 6 months ago. 6 months. Seems like a lifetime. So much has happened. Meeting Leon for a start. It would be so good if he were here now. I love receiving his letters since he left to Baltea with the Origin expedition. The way he described Kantar, the capital, made it sound like a city from a dream. We've said so much on paper. And I love to read between the lines. But since the expedition left Kantar for the mountains, no news. I just hope he's okay.
Something bad happened during the expedition. I, no doubt, am partly to blame. Nevertheless, I would like you to know my version of the events. After hard days of hiking, we set up our base camp on the threshold of a high valley where rhododendrons grew. All the witnesses seemed to concur. This was where the Gorun, the famous man of the mountains, was most frequently sighted. For many long weeks, we explored without success every valley and mountain surrounding the camp. Autumn was approaching, the rivers started to freeze at the edges, and the prospect of having to head back with nothing for our toil was becoming more and more apparent. The joyful banter of the first weeks was no more. The men were becoming moody and tense. especially our chief, Reinhard Berger. Better get going before...
Do you know what time it is?
Time to be heading out?
Enough! You couldn't care less whether we find the Gorons or not, could you? Well, mark my words, Cobatis. You'd better change your bloody attitude.
You know full well Huss and the Brown Shadow forced me into this. And besides, my mission was to guide you and the rest of the expedition here, not to get involved in your harebrained research.
I couldn't give a damn. Everyone has already started except you. So you just get your butt upstream and help Sauer carry out his research. The idiot is capable of getting himself lost again.
And if I refuse, what are you going to do about it? Is the bookworm about to turn nasty, huh?
Rest assured, Cobatis, I have no desire for an idiotic fistfight. If you prefer drawing silly romantic sketches instead of helping poor Sauer, who's probably already lost, that's up to you. But for me, I intend to refer the matter to Herr Hurst. And then we'll see what the Brown Shadow does with your little waitress friend.
You watch it, Berger. Sauer? What in the world?
Shh! Look what I found!
Is that
a go room! Yes, it's a go room! I heard him cry as I was taking a break near the path. Hurry, we must go fetch the others.
You go, he looks injured. I'd better stay and try and reach him before the current carries him away.
Right, Leon. Okay. But don't lose him.
All right, little fella. Don't move. I'm coming to get you. Easy, Leon. Now's not the time to get a dunking. Take it easy. I'm not going to hurt you. I just want to look at your wound. What can I give him to show I mean no ill? There you go. Good boy. It's all right. Don't be afraid. You're all right, fella. Good boy. Eat up, fella. It's good, isn't it? Leg broken. I just want to look at it, all right? Look, little fella, if you let me see your wound, you can have another biscuit later, yes? It's broken, all right. Must be very painful. You're a brave boy. If I could clean the wound and brace your leg, we should be able to get you back to camp and make it better. Hold on. I'll be right back. Just be patient, little fella. I'll be right back. Here we go, fella. This is going to sting a little. There, wasn't so bad, was it? Now we just need to find a way to get you back across. Hey! Did you do that, little fella? Well, better drawing than talking, huh? Now we just have to wait for the others. Huh? Oh! You want another biscuit? You learn quick. It was a young specimen, my darling Dana. Almost like a child. And as soon as we made eye contact, I knew this was a creature endowed with reason. When my companions joined me, I immediately sensed we did not share the same point of view. They seemed blinded by the discovery. They couldn't see the individual. It was clear the young Goran wasn't a person in their eyes, just a subject for study. In their excitement, they seemed to lose all common sense.
What is wrong with it? Fruit! Have some fruit!
You shut him up in a cage! What do you expect? He's frightened!
Shut it up, or I'm going to gag it! What's that?
Must be the Gorn's mother. If we give it back, she'll probably leave.
And deprive us of an adult specimen? Are you mad? All right, Mama.
Look at the size of her burger. Wound her, then we'll never get her back alive.
Who said we need her alive? They can't all be live specimens, can they?
No! Sorry about that, Burger, but I couldn't let you shoot them. Reinhardt, you all right? But he's killed Burger. Bauer, wait. You saw. It was an accident. He was going to kill the Goran, sir. So I had no intention to...
Shut it, assassin!
My head.
I'll bring him some soup. We can't let him starve to death.
Bastard doesn't deserve food.
Typical Horst, eh? Always the good Samaritan.
Aren't you afraid I was going to run for it?
They intend to hand you over to the authorities in Kantar for the murder of Reinhard Berger.
Doesn't surprise me. I came across a letter from Bauer that made me the scapegoat for everything that's gone wrong. Bauer had been planning this for some time now.
Well, that's not how it's going to be. I don't agree with what you did. But you don't deserve what Bauer and Jaeger intend for you. You must pretend to be tied up. Wait for them to fall asleep. Then take your gear and get as far away from here as possible. Hear me?
Yes, but what? So there you have the full story, my darling Dana. I don't know what will become of me, where my escape will lead me over the coming weeks, or what my life of a murderer on the run will be like. But always remember that my love for you is as strong as ever, and that my greatest desire is to hold you in my arms. I love you more than anything in the world. Leon, your Alpine lover.
Dana! Oh my goodness! Dana! What's wrong, Puppet? Lena, come, quick!
Dear Diary, so much has happened since I received Leon's letter a few days ago. I'm slowly recovering. Today, Papa and Mama told me that I was going to leave for a while. I'll explain what's going on, but I don't know where to begin. I need to gather my thoughts as I finish packing my suitcase. As I said, dear Diary, I'm leaving tomorrow. Papa and Mama are sending me to a sanatorium out of town for a few months. They say it's for continuing my convalescence. In other words, to send me and my secret away from prying eyes. My parents have accepted the offer from their longtime friends, the Zimmers, to pay for my hospitalization at the sanatorium. The Zimmers said it was in the name of their long friendship with Papa and Mama. But I think they feel bad that they can afford to flee Wagen in the Brown Shadow, whereas Mama and Papa can't. Poor Papa and Mama. They were devastated when the doctor they called after I collapsed discovered my secret. That secret I dared not speak about to anyone, not even you, dear diary. Now I can tell you. I'm pregnant, dear diary. Leon is the father. There were a lot of tears and screams when the doctor told Papa and Mama, but they finally decided to pretend that the baby will be the foster child of a missing relative. I know everyone expects me to feel guilty, but I can't help thinking of names. If it's a boy, of course it'll be Leon, to bring his father good luck. And if it's a girl, I think I'll call her Anna. Now you know everything, dear diary. It is now, I guess, the time to say goodbye for a while. All I can hope now is that Leon will survive winter in those faraway mountains, and that he will find a way to come home and clear his name. We will wait until then, me and the baby.
Dinah stayed in London for about 6 years. I found her a flat and a position with my real employer, the Foreign Office. She had no family, no friends, and in a way she had no life. She spent every minute she had in the office fighting in her own way against those who took everything from her. She went from one promotion to another, and soon she was among those in charge of coordinating all the resistance fighter groups pertaining to the different occupied countries of Europe.
That's it, I guess. Yunta!
Dana, darling, you can use my real name here, you know.
Sorry, but I just can't get used to it. For me, you'll always be Ginger Yunta.
Charming. I'm sure I have Lenny to thank for that, hmm? You were always too soft on that little brat.
Oh, give her a break. What are you doing here? I'm so glad to see you.
Only doing my duty, Dana, darling. A gallery invited me for a conference, so I jumped at the occasion to report back to our superiors. But it might be the last time for a while, I'm afraid. It's getting very hard to leave the occupied territories, even for a famous so-called pro-brown shadow artist like me. Anyway, how have you been since my last visit?
Well, with Leon being missing and probably lying dead somewhere in Baltayar for the past 7 years, and what happened to my parents, you know how I feel. But it's all beginning to feel like a dream, Yunta. A distant dream. Especially her. And I don't want it to, I don't want her, my sweet Anna, to just fade away. I'm sorry, Yunta, but could we please change the subject?
Of course, darling.
What is it?
More work for you, actually.
Oh?
Yes. The Allies need someone for an operation with the resistance in occupied territory. and they think it should be you. But truth be told, Dana, I'm not sure that's such a good idea.
Why not? I did volunteer for field operations. They've trained me a lot for that.
I know, Dana, but this operation will happen in Ostertal, right next to Wagen, actually.
I see.
Look, you don't need to answer me this minute. And no one would blame you if you declined the mission. We all know you don't only have happy memories of Wagen. You still have time to think it over. But before you give your final answer, they need you to identify the resistance group that will execute the operation. It's all explained here. And of course it's all top secret stuff. So you must cross-reference the documents right here in this room. You'll have to use that thing over there.
But I don't know how to use it.
I'm sure that's easy for you. You have such a clever mind, my little virtuoso. I'll see you later.
Well, let's get cracking then. Edelweiss? A coincidence. It must be a coincidence. The network leader's alias.
Oh, come here now, my pretty Edelweiss.
Don't call me that, you know I don't like it.
It's true though. That's exactly what you are, my pretty Edelweiss.
If you keep that up, Leon Kobatis, I'll find you a nickname too.
Go on then.
All right. Your nickname will be Alpine Lover from now on. Leon! He's alive. He's alive. He's alive! I need to... Oh, good grief. But how did he... Junta! Junta!
Leon was a terrific leader. I could feel he was finally taking me seriously, especially with Dana being missing. I knew he was still in love. After all, didn't he cross the globe to rescue her? But we all thought he arrived too late, that Dana had died with her parents during the pogroms. So I believed his mourning would eventually come to an end. And that's when Dana fell from the sky, literally.
Dana was sent by London, right? To oversee that operation led by your resistance network? The exfiltration of a civilian to Switzerland, if I recall correctly.
Indeed. But Leon never told us that Dana was involved. Maybe he was afraid to believe it himself. You should have seen them, Fräulein. It was as if they had never left each other.
Do you know if Dana ever mentioned a child?
Maybe they were planning to have one in Baltaya, who knows?
In Baltayar?
Yes, that's all they ever talked about. How they were going to live over there after the war, along with Ludwig and his tribe. But it was to be just another broken dream.
May I? Your drawings are beautiful.
For you, Dana Rose.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Ludwig. It's almost as if you were there with us that night.
Leon told me.
Did he speak about me?
All the time.
I should go now. Talk to you later, Mr. Ludwig. Lenny!
What do you want?
I found out that the refuge was closed down by the Brown Shadow a few years ago. Turns out your network did the best of it. But what about Herr Gustav? Is he...
Dead? No, he's not dead. Although, for me, he might just as well be.
It's quite incredible when I think of you and Leon fighting alongside someone who comes from so far away.
Yeah. After Leon saved him during the expedition in Baltayar, Mr. Ludwig's tribe took him in during the winter months. They became inseparable, like brothers. So much so that Mr. Ludwig insisted on coming back here with Leon. Now he's our most ferocious fighter, the terror of the Brown Shadow.
It's amazing how you've grown. How have you been since last time?
Fine, I guess.
See you later, Lenny.
Dana, wait.
What is it?
Do you remember when you worked for my old man and you caught me playing with Junta's equipment?
Rings a bell, yes.
Why? Why did you tell her about it when you promised you wouldn't?
Oh,
You said we were friends. Well, it got me into a whole load of trouble, you know? I was just a bored kid messing about.
I'm so sorry, Lenny, really. It was mean of me, I admit. But in my defense, all I can say is I was too young at the time. Maybe it was more important for me to earn Junta's trust than yours. I'm sincerely sorry it happened, but can we leave this all behind us now and be friends again?
Fine. Very well then.
See you later, all right? Is everything all right, Herr Exner? You seem a little upset. If it's about your exfiltration tomorrow, I can assure you there's nothing to be worried about. Leon is the best for...
I couldn't care less about tomorrow.
So what is it then?
It's my wife, Andrea. It's like I said to your goons there. I can't leave without her.
Your wife? I'm sorry, Herr Exner, but we have no orders regarding...
I don't care about your orders. I'm not leaving without Andrea. Do you hear me? I won't. You think I'm a bastard, don't you? A selfish bastard ready to risk people's lives to recover the woman he loves. That's what you all think, isn't it?
No, I think you're afraid, that's all. Afraid for you and the woman you love. And fear doesn't usually bring out the best in people.
I take full responsibility for my actions, and I expect no pity in return. But would a little understanding be too much to ask? I mean, what would you do in my shoes? What would you do if they asked you to abandon that alpinist you seem to be so fond of for the common good, eh? Because that's what you're asking me to do with Andrea.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I suppose if I were in your shoes, I would pull out all the stops to protect those who are dear to me.
I see. Thank you, Fraulein.
London, come in. London? Do you read me? Over. We've made contact. Package safe and sound. I repeat, we've made contact. Package...
Out of the question! I'm not moving from here without her!
London, please wait a moment. Over. What's going on?
You! Tell London I'm not leaving without my wife!
Herr Exner, listen,
No, you listen. Andrea is my closest collaborator. With regard to the Allied war effort, she is just as important as me. She is in Wagen as I speak, hiding at some friend's place under a false identity. You must bring her here and smuggle her into Switzerland with me.
There's no way we're going back to Wagen. Brown Shadow troops have overrun the entire town. We can't risk delaying our departure.
A storm coming. Danger.
I'm not moving from here without her.
London, did you hear that? Roger that. Over and out. They say we can't allow Frau Exner to be captured and risk her letting the cat out of the bag.
What are you waiting for then? Send someone to fetch her.
Hang on. You're not asking me to...
Sorry, Lenny, we haven't got a choice. Ludwig can't go about in public in Wagen, and I have to prepare everything to get them through Devil's Pass tomorrow. You're the only one I trust enough to...
Why can't she go?
Lenny's right. I'm not known to the Brown Shadow. I can sneak into Wagen incognito this evening and be back in time for...
Out of the question. That's not your mission here. And besides, it's too dangerous.
Leon!
All right then. I'll go.
Lenny, wait!
Leon's reaction and his unconditional love for Dana drove me mad with rage. So I decided to take my revenge by making a detour. It was a detour I would regret for the rest of my life.
What did you do?
I made a deal with the devil. No one was supposed to have gotten hurt, I promise. I promise, Fräulein. I just didn't want Leon to leave me forever. To leave with her. But it was a fool's bargain, as I should have known from the beginning.
Immediately, before the mountain becomes impassable!
Go through the pass in this weather? Are you mad?
We have no choice, Lenny! It's that or fall into the hands of the Brown Shadow! And we both know what that means! We ought to stay, to buy Leon as much time as we can!
Leon,
She's right, Lenny! Now go! Go! Come! Dana!
No, don't make this harder than it is!
Dana!
I love you, Leon.
I love you too, Dana, more than anything in the world. Come on, let's go!
Ironic, isn't it? But the worst was yet to come. Who knows how long we fought? Enough for Leon to lead the civilians to the foot of Devil's Path.
The little Vagaran scourge. Still clinging on like fleas on a rat, I see. Oh, I was so disappointed I didn't bump into you when we sacked your parents' house. Before we threw them in the Dombra River.
I just wanted to tell you what a pathetic little man you are. You don't even deserve my hatred.
Run, rabbit! Run! 'Cause we'll soon be back to finish off scum like you!
Since the liberation, everyone in Vagan seems to be looking for someone. Herzawa?
Oh, Fräulein Dana.
What are you doing here?
Well, unlike my former colleagues of the Origin expedition, I refused to be hired by the Allies. So, by the same chalk, I turned down immunity.
Why would you do that?
Well, all I've ever wanted to do in life is to carry out my anthropological research. But if there's one thing I learned in Baltaya, it's that it can't be done by serving the designs of this or that superpower, not even momentarily. I've had enough of prostituting science. So, I've given myself up to be judged for accepting to be financed by the Brown Shadow.
I see.
I'm sorry about Leon, Fräulein Dana. I know you were close. He, used to talk about you all the time. I'm sorry. I was rather harsh toward him last time we met. He was a good man. I miss him. His integrity.
I miss him too. Herr Sauer?
Yes, Fräulein Dana?
Thank you for passing Leon's letter on to me about what happened in Baltaya like you promised you would, despite your own grief. It's proof that you're a man of honor. I wish you well now.
Goodness me, it's you, Dana.
Herr Gustav?
Wish it was still a music academy, eh? Allied HQ now, you know.
Yes,
I just visited Lenny.
that's why I've come too. I wanted to see her before I leave. How is she?
Surviving, I suppose. The Allies are taking care of her here in the infirmary. Thank goodness. Special treatment for her exploits in the Resistance. But it's unlikely she'll ever walk again now.
I'm so sorry for what happened to her. I let Leon die alone, and I couldn't even help Lenny when she got hit during the assault on the refuge.
I understand you, my lovely. I do. But don't blame yourself, eh? Regrets, we all have a few. And some more than others. Especially in times of war, Dana. It's the way of the world. We just have to move on best we can. Maybe if we could all just let the water flow under the bridge, the swans will come back and we'll all be able to live together again. Like we used to.
Would be good, if it's at all possible. And Lenny?
I promise to take good care of her. For the rest of my life. I lost my little girl once. I'm not losing her again. I'll take up my job at the refuge. And I'll adapt it to her handicap. See?
That's nice.
Is everything okay, Dana?
Where were you during the occupation? Lenny never mentioned it.
If you want to know, I was cleared by the military court, Dana. It might well have something to do with the fact that I'm the father of a heroine. But all the same, I was cleared of any wrongdoing, you see.
Oh, I see. I see very well, Herr Gustav. You have a good day now. Hello, Lenny. I have to leave, Lenny. Every new day in Wagen is like another agony for me since Leon died. I can't face being here anymore. Not now that the town is freed. So, I've decided to leave for America. I'm going to try to start life over. I don't know if I'll do any better in the United States, but I'll have more of a chance of getting by there than here. I'm not abandoning you, Lenny. Ludwig's staying to help you find Leon's body in the mountain. And I'll write to you, often. I won't forget you. I'm so sorry.
So Dana, she never knew what you did?
Indeed.
My husband, William Gerngrich, passed away last summer. He was such a remarkable partner and a tremendous support. But as you know, Lenny, there used to be another world for me. The world before. Our world, Lenny. The world of Leon. I've honored my current contracts. But now I feel I need a change. It was a nurse who worked at the maternity ward at Baden Sanatorium before the war, when I spent some time there. She had stumbled upon a letter written by her superior. It was a strange confession written by the chief doctor who was present when I went into labor. She claimed that the child I gave birth to on April 5th, 1938 was alive, that they had seized the opportunity of me falling into a coma to give my daughter Anna to a couple of friends of my parents, the Zimmers. Anna is alive, Lenny. You can imagine, my dear Lenny, that I spent the following weeks searching for my daughter high and low. It wasn't that difficult, even though my daughter's names had been changed.
For a while, I just stood there, watching a woman who seemed to be the center of attention. She looked so confident, joyful, and full of life. She was surrounded by charming friends and a couple of old folks who must have been the Zimmers, her adoptive parents. As I was watching my daughter, it appeared clear to me. I was an intruder in the life of Sarah Walker Zimmer.
Mom?
This young woman didn't look like me and inspired nothing in me either. No emotion, no desire to run to her and take her in my arms. Absolutely nothing. It felt meaningless. I just did what I thought best in such cases. I took a trip into her assumed past, just to make sure there were no regrets. I was just about to leave when I heard piano music coming from upstairs. It stopped me in my tracks. Six little notes, pure, crystalline, that crushed my heart with an incredible violence. I climbed the stairs like an automaton, guided by the music of the hymn of Wagen. The music I was so proud to play on the main square of Wagen. I never played it again after that. In a child's bedroom, I saw a little girl learning to play the piano.
She was very studious and didn't seem at all surprised to see me there. She must have thought I was just another guest who had lost their way to the bathroom. We hardly spoke. I just showed her how to play. Hands must glide over the keyboard like swans over water. That's what our teachers at Wagen Academy used to say.